Hi guys, wait, is it on? Okay. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Sunny Turner. For those of you who don't know me, I am a plus size model, an Instagrammer, a body positive activist, a self-love queen and a feminist and a whole load of other things. And I thought about my first video, me kind of talking about my experiences with food and weight gain and kind of how I did and the experiences that I went through as a teenage girl and how I got to the stage that I'm at now. I really hope this video, some of you can resonate with it and maybe, you know, just realise that you're not alone, and if you're going through these emotions and feelings that I went through, then everyone goes through them and hopefully you can relate to it. So make sure you like, comment and subscribe, and I will leave all of my socials below so you can check me out. So let's get into the video. So my kind of pressure to be a baddie, and for those of you who don't know what a baddie is, it's a social construct that essentially it's kind of been birthed from Instagram. It's this generation of girls or even men that feel like they're not beautiful because they don't look like what society is saying is beautiful at the moment. And when I think of an Instagram baddie, I think of a Kardashian, or a Kardashian look like someone who has perfect hair, perfect teeth, perfectly sculpted body, you know, who lives this amazing, perfect lifestyle and who has like everything that everyone wants essentially. And my pressure kind of stemmed back from when I was going through my maturing years as a teenager. I can just remember everything I did was because I was seeking approval and validation for my peers, those around me, and more specifically I wanted male approval. You know, when you're at that age where everyone's getting a boyfriend and you want boys to like you, and like, I don't know what it is that, like, this is just this like stage that girls just go through when, you know, they start noticing boys that like, oh, shall I wear my shirt a bit tighter, or I don't know, just anything along that. And I don't know why, but I was so influenced by Tumblr. I literally, if anyone remembers like Tumblr quotes, I literally thought that they were words to live by. And like, I remember some of the quotes, it always had a really pretty girl in them, or even a pretty couple, and I wanted to be like that. I wanted to be this idea of what a Tumblr baddie was, and that was usually a mixed race girl who had curly blonde hair and green eyes, and you know, she had this perfect body, this big bum, small waist, was skinny, was generally quite small, basically everything that I'm kind of not. And I just really wanted to be like that. And I went to a school where me and my sister were technically the only people of colour there. I didn't see anyone who looked like me, no positive role models, teachers, or on a day-to-day basis was I coming in contact with that looked like me. And I think that's why I'm such a big advocate for representation. Inclusivity and diversity is so important within the media. You know, it's the things that people see, it's the formative of people's mindset. And I don't think media outlets and ads and companies and campaigns and things like that realise how much power they have. They literally have the power to make people feel more confident simply by representing more people on a larger scale. And what I mean by this was I was generally seeing, you know, thin, Caucasian, they're usually Caucasian, and basically they don't look like me. So I felt like when I was seeing this small representation of someone who looked like me or was like me or whatever in this Tumblr quote, I thought I literally had to be like that. I thought I had to live like that. And I wasn't bothered or wasn't thinking about being an inspirational woman. I didn't care about I started to not care about being intelligent and being smart, and I thought that kind of body image and your physical appearance determines your worth. And I literally remember one of the Tumblr quotes was like, fuck stress, have sex. I really don't know why 14-year-old me was thinking that that's an acceptable quote to be reposted and talking about, because it's really not. But yeah, so I can remember a summer specifically, you know, when you get the 6-week period when you break up from school, and my relationship with my body was severely and rapidly deteriorating. I didn't like the way I looked. I didn't like the way clothes fit me specifically, like, because I did have boobs, but like my body was not like as curvy and womanly as I wanted it to be, and I wasn't skinny. I was like a size 10 to 12, so I wasn't actually, you know, I wasn't like fat essentially back then, but I felt like I was, and it wouldn't have mattered if I was fat back then, because I think that just shows that you can feel these insecurities and pressures no matter what your size. Feeling ugly is not prescribed to one weight or one dress size. You can feel it at any weight, whether you're fat, slim, skinny, curvy, or hourglass, whatever, all those names, pear shape, you know what I mean. And I used to hate summer so much, and I hated hot weather because that meant, you know, you had to show more flesh. I couldn't stand going shopping with my parents because I didn't want them to see what I looked like. I hated bikinis and swimsuits specifically, which is why I hated going on holiday, because I just didn't like the way it like fit me. I specifically hated the way that they looked on my boobs. Like, I just really couldn't stand that. And you know, it's really sad to think back how many holidays and trips and things like that I've wasted and not enjoyed fully to the max, and that's what I don't want to do anymore. I don't want my body to be stopping me from having a good time and from stopping me living my life to the fullest. And yeah, so during that summer, I remember I hardly ever left my house. I think I only left my house to go to the local shop to get some bread and milk, literally. And I can remember my mum asked me to go and make her a cup of tea in the kitchen, and I could see the reflection of myself in the dark shine bright at me, and I broke down. And I just remember thinking, I hate myself. How do I look like that? And I wanted to change. I wanted to be someone else, essentially. And it became the same looking in mirrors where I couldn't do it. I just didn't like it, and I never really spoke about it to anyone, so I didn't know why I was feeling these feelings. It was like a very strange time, and I started to get dressed in the dark, started to take showers in the dark, I started to use the toilet and the bathroom in the dark because I just didn't want to catch my reflection. I didn't want to catch myself in the mirror, and I developed some really bad coping mechanisms. One of them was actually overeating and overcompensating my kind of pain and using it and taking it out on food. It's weird because I wanted to be slimmer, but I was, instead of eating less food, I was eating more. I was like indulging too much. I was making food and mealtime like my favourite time of day. Literally snack time or mealtime, if my mum had like bought something in, was literally what I lived for. And I was overusing social media too much. I was Twitter specifically. Oh my god, if a cat flew past my window, I was tweeting about it. If a bird flew past my window, I was tweeting about it. You know, if my cat was meowing, I was tweeting about it. And it's because on social media you can be someone else. You can be a catfish, essentially. You can pretend that you're living this happy, this amazing, glamorous life. And especially as I started to use Instagram, that's when it kind of became more damaging. I believe that I started to show signs of body dysmorphia. I looked it up and I was like, I was showing signs of it, but I never got diagnosed by it because, as I said, I never told anyone. I was extremely depressed, but kind of internally, and I feel like when you have a big personality like mine and you're so confident, you don't want to talk about those things. You know, you want to keep this kind of confident, loud exterior that everyone seems to think that you have. So I was essentially suffering in silence. And as I started to use Instagram, you know, I started gaining more followers. I started to feel more pressures of being an influencer. So yeah, so using Instagram started to get a bit damaging as well. I was starting to be offered these brand deals like teeth whitening and just a whole lot of other things, which I was promoting and I was never even using them. That just shows how much like ads and things like that lie. And there was a plethora of other things as well that I would do. Like, I would move my wardrobe to like the white wall in my room, and I'd take my selfies from there, and I had like a selfie light, so I was making it look as if you'd think I had this amazing studio, this amazing room, and like, you know, I was only posting certain snippets of my life, but really I wasn't. I was stunting and I was fronting. And I can even remember, I think I promoted like a drink, not skinny tea, but it was something along those lines, and I started doing all these things and kind of changing my behaviour because I thought it was what I should be like. I was seeing everyone doing these things, so I thought I'll just do them as well because that's what everyone else is doing, you know, kind of jumping on the bandwagon. And I remember I was getting tired, I was getting sick and tired of pretending and faking this persona. I don't even know if it was a persona or what it was. I feel like it's probably not that deep to most of you, but to me, I was living that life. And yeah, I'm essentially exposing myself, but whatever. And you know, fast forward to today, I am the biggest size I've ever been now. I'm a size 14 to 16, and I'm also the most confident. I joined the body positivity movement kind of. I didn't realize I was getting myself into it, but I posted this picture, which I will try and insert, but if I can't, then I'm sorry, because I'm really bad with technical things. But I posted a picture, you know, I had my stomach out, because I only really used to post like shoulder pictures upwards, and I felt like I'd shown the world what I really look like. I felt really liberated, and I felt like, okay, they've seen this side of me, now I can do what I want. And now that's what I do all the time, and it somehow has landed me a career in the plus size industry. And you know, I never thought that someone like me would be doing a job that I do. Oh, for you guys that don't know, I'm a model, would be doing the job that I do, because I never saw people like this in the media. Like, when have you seen all this on covers of magazines? Like, never. And a quote that I can remember my English teacher said to me was, people who see happiness in the smaller things in life are often happier people in general. And she could not be more right. I translated that to, if I can see the happiness and the positive things in my body, like I have nice lips, or I have nice hair, or my stomach's not all that bad, and if I learn to embrace it and live with it, then I'll be a happier person in general. And she's so correct. You need to stop picking. I needed to stop picking my body apart and saying this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. And you need to start doing the same. Stop comparing yourself to your sister. Stop comparing yourself to your friend. Stop comparing yourself to Kim Kardashian. Just try and embrace what you have, because your power is literally you. No one else on this planet is you. No one else can do the things that you do. No one else has your talents. I think we get so wrapped up in, especially as girls, you get so wrapped up in thinking that all of this has to be perfect, all of this has to be amazing, when actually there are women that are doing things with this, and there are people that do things with their heart. And okay, I sound like I'm going off on a tangent now, but you don't have to look perfect to be successful. You don't have to, I guess that's cliche for me to say because my job is centered around my appearance, but literally I can't stress enough how if you start to love yourself, you'll be a happier person in general, because comparison is the biggest thief of joy. Decided for 2018 is that I'm not supporting brands that do not support me. I'm not supporting brands that don't care about people like me, and who don't want to try and make people feel better about themselves in some way, shape or another. I'm not saying all brands need to go and freaking use plus size models and use blah blah blah, which would be great, but what I'm saying is I don't want to be making people profit off my insecurities. That's essentially what diet culture is. That is what society does. It tells us, oh, your lips are not big enough, and then it will promote to you somewhere where you can get your lips done. It's profiting off you. Don't let people be out there living their best life and cashing in checks at the expense of your happiness, because that is just not, it's not healthy and it's not good for you. That's all I have to say in this video. So thank you so much for watching. If it was a little bit brief, I'm sorry, but yeah, I want to continue to make videos, so comment below and let me know what you want to see. This was just a brief intro into my story, so make sure you like, comment and subscribe. Thank you so much guys, thanks for watching, bye.